Give me one example through the thousands of years of history that we become so smart that we are no longer candidates for deception. Get over yourself. Get over myself. Stop thinking that we are immune to deception and we can figure it out ourselves. We're not. And that's why I believe it's so important that we spend the next week diving into what was the greatest deception of all times. Trojan horse aside, the Ponzi scheme aside, we have got to talk about the grand conflict between the deities, these gods, little g, that have lied to us and pointed their fingers at the opposing side saying, no, we're not the liars, they're the liars. We've got to figure it out. Let me end with this. The God of the Bible, he concludes with not only accusing, he makes an additional step. He concludes with not just accusing his rival of lying. That's bad enough. But the God of the Bible takes an additional step and says, not only is he lying, but I am the only way to life. Let me take you there. John chapter 14. John chapter 14 is just a few chapters after Jesus calls this father of lies, this liar and murderer. He just calls him out with the strongest language possible. And then in John chapter 14, he's now pointing out, well, it's not just that he's a liar, but I'm the only option. It's a conversation with his disciple, Thomas, who's asking about, where are you going? Jesus is trying to explain an eternity, an eternal kingdom to them. And he says in verse 6, John chapter 14 and verse 6, he says, Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Isn't that interesting that Jesus accuses Satan of being a liar and a murderer and contrasts himself as the way, as the truth and the life? Truth is to a lie as life is to death. And Jesus says they are polar opposites. We are worlds apart. This is not just an option of fast food. These are polar opposites. You've got to go to one extreme or the other. Life and truth or death and lies.